Hi Zoya, how are you?
Good, how are you? Just
I'm
one
good.
sec. Yeah.
How is it feeling? First of all, welcome to Great Diaries. How is it
Thank you.
feeling to be on the other end of your own series?
It feels, a little bit emotional because I wanted to continue this for a long time. I didn't know that it would be for such a short while, but excited to be on the other side for sure.
Okay, I guess we'll just start with a short intro. Like what do you do at work and what your after work life looks like. So let's
Mm-hmm.
go.
Okay. So here at Grid for work, I joined as a marketing consultant, especially for the email segment, like the email strategy. So I started out on that front. We didn't have anything put in place before. So with you, especially, we tried HubSpot, then we tried Zoho, and we set up a couple of things together in terms of maintaining contact with our present customers and reaching out to prospects. So it's been fun doing that. Apart from that, I like every startup, you do multiple things. So I also did a couple of new things like setting up a thought leadership angle so that we could come up with original expert driven articles to reach out to people who might be interested in grid, but in a way that's more interesting to read and stuff like that. Yeah.
No, it's not just a little interesting. I think it's a pretty informational front that the thought leadership article thing, and it's actually helped quite a lot with our marketing efforts as well.
Yes, and it's been exciting. Like in the beginning, for me, it was a challenge because I'm not an expert, but of course, thought leadership is built by taking inputs from the people who run this company and who have all the, research, on-field research with them. So it was a lot of fun building that, and I think the readers enjoyed it too.
Since obviously thought leadership and our like email strategy is something that is very important for a B2B marketing in
Yes,
general marketing strategy. So,
yeah.
how do you feel that like since you've been in marketing for a while now, so how is B2B marketing different than a B2C marketing?
Oh my God, it's completely different. This is not my first time with B2B. Uh, I have had experience with another company, but it was still more consumer driven because in the end, it was a consumer using the tool, consumers like you and me.
Mhm.
But with B2B, it's different because if you compare it with B2C, it's people say it's not as creative, but for me, it's been even more creative because the challenge is to present something that might seem boring in an interesting way, in a simpler way. So it's more of different permutations and combinations, and your mind
Exactly.
has to work differently as a creative person or as a strategist. Uh, but with B2C, it's like you have a brand, you have a product, and you can build a full story around it. You can invent so many different angles. But
Hmm.
with B2B, you have to stick to one, but you have to
Yeah.
come up with different, maybe short films. So that's that's been fun. That's I think one of the major differences with in terms of who you're speaking to. And as you said, it's more directed because it's emails and thought leadership. So the kind of places that you use for B2B is kind of set. So
Hmm.
you are more structured. For me, it was way more
That's true.
structured than B2C.
Yeah, the different avenues that you have to consider while marketing for B2B are still defined. You
Yes.
can't just like B2C, you can't just try
Yeah, B2C,
anything and everything at
you are
once.
everywhere. Yes, your customers are everywhere, so you are everywhere. But with B2B, it's interesting. You pick where you want to be at and you drill deep into it. So that's interesting with B2B.
Yeah. Okay, so another thing. with AI and ChatGPT and new innovations coming in like every other day, literally now, how do you think the field of
Yeah.
marketing for people who are either getting into marketing or who are now a few years into it and now seeing firsthand how the industry is changing, how do you feel that it is changing for people and what they should be doing right now to stay on top of it?
So, frankly, in the beginning, I was a little scared because, in the end, more than a marketer, I'm a writer. So, many of the tools were maybe going to eat my job, but no, really, not really. Once I started using the tools and knowing them on a personal front rather than just seeing it, from the surface level, I think marketers or writers or anyone who's in this field should not be scared, but instead make these tools a part of how they work. For me, also, ChatGPT is like my best friend now.
Yeah.
I think it's not like I can't live without ChatGPT, but it's made things so much more streamlined. It's somehow helped me remove the block of procrastination. So it's not like it's my personal assistant, but it's just like a motivator of sorts. So I think all marketers should definitely take advantage of all these tools that are coming up and keep reading a lot on about it so that they don't miss out. There's a lot of potential for a person or an individual to learn from and actually grow with the tools instead of, fighting against them. So yes, I would say don't hesitate or don't stop yourself from taking up short courses on you making the best of these tools to step up, scale your productivity in a certain way.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think the word that you're using continuously, tools, they're exactly that only. Like people think that they are some sort of replacements for people, but no,
Yeah.
they're actually just tools. They'll just make our lives easier and make
Yeah,
results
exactly.
faster.
Yeah, exactly. Like with Grid as well, it's a tool in the end and it's making things easier. You don't have to just remember everything. You can use Grid to make your life easier by having your data organized and more structured.
Exactly.
It's just your assistant. It's reminding you of things you need to be reminded of.
Yeah, so that was a plug for our product in-house. For anybody who's watching the video and does not know about Grid, we are a digitization platform. And how would you describe our product, Zoya?
I would maybe describe it as a way to begin your whole digitization process, especially like in a company that's mostly operating on paper or is just maybe helter-skelter with their data because they have so much going on. For example, a manufacturing unit. I personally haven't been inside one, but I have heard or I know how people operate. It's just like they're all over the place. I mean, I know friends who have their units, and if they just knew that, a tool can make so many things easier and, just structure all their workflows that they are so used to just trying to remember or just writing it down or just using different softwares, I think it's one place they can make the most of to organize their operations.
Yeah, I mean, like if managing work and managing operations could be as easy as just scrolling social media. So
yeah,
if that can happen, I think it should happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of our clients are happier using Grid. Yeah.
Okay, so like that was about work. But like how does your day-to-day life look like? I know like right now that you are going through a massive change in your life with shifting abroad, but as a marketer, what does your day-to-day look like?
Okay, a lot to let me think. So my day-to-day, so whenever as a marketer or a writer, I think I actually have to always read a lot. So I have tried to segregate a day in my whole day where I make sure I visit all the apps that I have downloaded to keep track of what's happening, be it for social media or email or tools or just content prompts, writing prompts. So I have multiple sheets, a lot of learning material that I keep adding to, so that I constantly keep upskilling myself. So I think I start my day maybe with that, and then there's the news that I have to keep reading so that I know what's happening in the world, because it's very important as a marketer. You have to be informed. Then after that, I think an hour of my day goes in exercising as well. I like to work out. So it helps me stay away from the screens because it's not that healthy. And on the side, sometimes I listen to music or to podcasts, and podcasts in French, because as you said, I've shifted abroad, and because I learned French, and that's how I'm here in France right now. So that was a part of my routine. It still is, to keep another language playing around me.
That's impressive.
After that, I work. I have calls with the clients I'm working for. We think of things we have to do for the day, and then I work on them. Sometimes there's more writing, sometimes it's more researching. So a part of the day goes in that, and then there's of course the cooking and the eating, going out, catching up with people, and I think that's mostly about it. But one more part of, I think, being a marketer is that I keep meeting my friends who I studied with. Like, we studied the same thing, and then we meet every other weekend, and we are kind of doing the same thing but focused on different fields. Like, one is a F&B social media strategist, one is more for fashion, and I am more of an advertiser plus a marketer, so a range of different projects. So it's fun meeting and discussing and understanding where did we reach after studying something that was mass communication. So that's something that I like to revisit as a marketer, learning from my friends who have now built their own careers, how we have built our own careers in this field. So yeah.
The last part actually sounds fascinating. Yeah, that's not something that I've heard from people. This is actually fascinating. Nice.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, Zoya. Thank you for the wonderful time that we've had together, working together, and thank you for great Diaries, this series. It's been appreciated a lot by people at Grid and even people who have watched. So I think we will see you around on Instagram, at least.
For sure. And when I'm back in Delhi, we'll meet for sure.
Sure.
Maybe do a dance video with you for your channel.
Oh, okay. Now I'm excited.
Okay. Thank you for having me, Dhruv. Peace out. Mic drop.
Peace out. Bye.
Bye-bye.